Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we finally get to unload gas kiln number 1, the first kiln I've fired in all of 2020, and I'm excited to see what's in there. Let's go. All right, guys. How'd you like that transition? Anyway, I hope you, as I said, I hope you're doing well today. Crazy thing is, I had a pretty crazy schedule last week. I had to get all this glazed, as some of you guys saw on Instagram or Facebook. I posted pictures of the empty kiln, the full kiln. Had to get it glazed, I had to get it fired because I had to go out of town for 2 days. So this is completely cooled down. I haven't peeked, I haven't looked at it at all. It's just ready to unload. So that's what we're gonna do this morning. We're gonna open it up and unload it. And I forgot, I got my coffee, so don't forget before it gets cold, I need to drink this. But there's some new things in here. I've got like 5 different orders in this kiln, so that's always a little bit stressful because you're like, all right, these things are pretty much already sold if they come out well. But at times, it's like, you know, things happen in a kiln. So I'm not saying anything bad or negative, just saying that things happen. So anyway, we're gonna open it up and get the raw reaction of first look in the kiln and then start pulling the pots out and show them to you as we go. And just to preface my message on Facebook and Instagram last week, I wasn't upset or depressed at all. It was just that I didn't feel, I love what I do for a living. I really do. But there are some days, every once in a while, where you just don't feel like doing what you have to do. And when I was glazing all the pots and loading this kiln, that was one of those days that I didn't feel like doing it, but I had to do it because I was on a deadline. So just one of those things, but I got it done, I persevered, and we're all good. So now we get the fun of unloading it, and you get to see. All right, 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, woo! I like what I see so far. Nice. All right, it's looking good. We just got to get to all the orders and make sure they're okay. All right, first thing I'll show you. I tried this on a bowl last year, my peacock pattern, but I did red and blue alternating. And so I thought, I'm gonna try it on a cup. So I also was trying a new clay. So that's one thing. I've got, I don't have any new glazes in here. I might have a couple new patterns, I can't remember. But I tried a new clay because I really feel like I need to get a different clay body for my gas kiln, and I'm trying one of the ones that I used in my wood kiln. So if I can do that, then I'm down to 1 clay body for both kilns, and that's like party time here, because then I don't have to worry about keeping them separate and all that jazz. So this is the new clay body, and everything on it looks really nice. I'll tell you right up front, the only difference I see is that my ash glaze, it looks like it's a little bit more shiny on this. I'll know more when I look at some of the bowls, but it looks like it's a little bit more shiny. It doesn't up here though, so we'll see. And there's my copper red on the inside. That's a cool cup. I might have to keep that one. I don't know, we'll see. These two were also the new clay, but with glazes that I already use, and they both look really nice. Look at the color in that one. Man, look at that all right in there. That is amazing. Woo. Goodness gracious. And you guys have seen that color before as well, but that is just, sorry, my light there that I'm using to light up my face for the video is kind of putting a big highlights on there, but that's pretty as well. All right, and you guys saw the recent video of me making 1 pound vases. Some of those are in here. And yes, they were 1 pound, and yes, there's a lot of pot there for 1 pound, but that just comes from my years of practice. So, but yeah, these are looking nice. All right, I worked on my new pour over design. So that's the bottom to one of them. And then, let's see, that's the one that fits. No, that's not. I got three of them in here. All right. So now these pour overs come in 3 parts. I've got the bottom and I've got the top where you do the pour over part. And then I also have it so that you can, after you're done doing the pour over, you can take the lid and put it on and use this to serve the coffee by using the lid, and it keeps it warm. So you could make, you know, I mean, of course the spout, you know, you could make enough for like 3 or 4 people in here. The pour over, I guess you'd have to do more than 1 pour over to do that, unless you could just fill that up with that much of the grounds. But you can do that, and then you can put this on the table and use it to serve with, and you've got the lid. So. Hey, sorry I had to interrupt him to let you know that the Etsy sale of pieces that are coming out of this kiln that he's talking about is going live Monday at 10 a.m. About 35 coffee mugs, some pour overs, some vases. Get them while they're hot. All right, you can have him back now. I'm super excited about that. This color here is a combination of this purple and another glaze, and I didn't want to do all that glaze on the lid because I didn't want it to run too much. So I've got the lid has actually got purple and then this color here just on the knob, but I'm okay with that. It's still, you get some purple down in here, so it still matches, but that's a cool pot. Okay, if I explain every single pot in here to you guys as I pull it out, this video is gonna be like 2 hours long. So I'll try to just speed it up and then slow down on some ones that I'm really excited about. Lots of new coffee mugs. All right, here's one of my other pour overs. There's the bottom, the lid. Oh man, look at the design inside of that pour over. And then there is the top, the pour over. Look at that. Now the big question, last time I made them, I put too many holes in the bottom, so that made the coffee really weak. I could have sold those 5 times over, but they made the coffee too weak. And of course, anybody who's probably interested in buying a pour over loves coffee and loves strong coffee. So I was like, well, I just got to make more and make them so that it'll make the coffee stronger. So I've got 1 1/4-inch hole there, and I'm going to test it out here in a little bit, and we'll see what kind of coffee it makes. There's another one of the new clay body. You can see the color of the bottom of that. See the color of the bottom of that compared to the color of the bottom of that cup. You can see the difference in the clay body by looking at the bottom, but I think from the outside, they look pretty much the same. Of course, different glaze on that one than this one. That's the thing I'm worried about on a different clay body, is getting blisters in my ash glaze. So I've got enough pieces in here that we're gonna test all that out and see if we get that. But there's one right there, and that's kind of a so we'll see. Yeah, here's another one of the new clay body. And like I said, you can see, this is what I was wanting to check and why I tested multiple pieces. This one is not too bad, but there's a couple little bitty blisters. These aren't sharp at all, but there's a couple little bitty blisters there in the ash glaze. And so we'll have to work on that. All right, there's the third pour over. Sorry, I don't know if I got too close there. Top and bottom of that one is very nice. Here it is with just the lid. Mm-hmm. Woo. A really nice lidded jar there. Here's the first couple of these bowls that I made for that charity, the soup bowl thing. First couple of those coming out. Those are pretty cool. I like the swirl in that actually. I've never done that before. Okay, here's my red peacock design with the new clay. And can see a couple little bitty bubbles. Yeah, but not many, so it's a possibility. I just have to be careful of that, because if I get too many of those bubbles, then we have an issue. And we get pots coming out that are not sellable. See, this is my original clay. And there's no bubbles in that at all. All right, here's one of the big orders that I had. This platter bowl with this design in it. I needed to finish out around 16 inches wide. And yeah, that's gorgeous. If she's not thrilled with that, then I don't know what else to do. Very nice. Everything's fine with that one. It's a different style of mug that I thought about making, more of like a cappuccino mug, or a could even be like a soup mug. Those are kind of cool. Only problem with these is sometimes they get out of round because they're so big of a mouth. That one got a little bit out of round, but that one's pretty good. But just got to make them a little thicker maybe. I did some different design with my red slip there underneath the rutile. That's pretty neat. I like that a lot. Another one with some more like random red slip design. That's cool. Oh man, I like the way it did underneath the ash glaze there too. This is how sometimes you get new ideas. You see something and it could be nothing eventually. You know, it could just turn out to be like, it didn't really actually pan out when I tried it the next time a different way. But I just saw something in one of those cups that made me think, I gotta try something different next time. So one of the things I gotta do is write that down so I don't forget about it. All right, you guys have been wanting to see this sink finished ever since I threw it in my video. And now it hasn't bright, brilliant glaze, but it was a custom order for a sink, and they wanted it for a man cave, so I wanted it real rustic. So I did the ash glaze on the outside and the inside, and I think that's pretty cool. So there's the sink finished. It's being picked up today, so I'm glad it came out well. I think they're really gonna like it. Here you go. Circles. Lots of circles. And circles in circles. There you go. Look at that one. Woo. More circles, but in that shaped mug, that's actually like, it really complements that shape. And yes, it just started raining, so might be loud under this metal roof. Whoopsie. It happens. You might be wondering why I stack them this way when they're coming out of the glaze kiln, because it saves space, number one, but I don't want to stack them inside each other because I haven't sanded the bottoms yet. And this is really sharp enough that it would scratch the glaze of the one you put it inside of. If it gets wiggled around inside there, I've seen it before, and so I stack them until I sand the bottom. I stack them like this, and that keeps them from scratching the inside of the one it's sitting in. All right, here's 2 plates that I did in that new clay. And I see one small blister right there. And then I don't think I see any blisters in this one. So, oh, one little bitty one right there. So, like I said, definitely something that I need to figure out. I'll probably talk to the people that make the clay. They're a local company, and see what they think about that. But other than that, it's getting, yeah, I'd really like to have one clay body. And I think the clay body I've been using, I'm firing a little bit hotter than I should. So I wanted to switch to one that was a little bit more open so that it didn't overfire it. This is in my old clay, but this is a plate that I made for my neighbor, just as a thank you. Actually, look, there's a little bit of blister in that one. But I'll tell you that one of the big differences I see is that, as I said, I think the ash clay is a little bit more shiny on the other clay body, probably because of the amount of silica or something like that in the clay itself. But this is a very late Christmas present for my neighbor. My neighbor, actually my neighbor's wife, well, they're both my neighbor, but you know what I'm saying. My neighbor is the one that did all the metal work on my kiln, and he's just such a good friend. I've known him for a very long time, and him and his wife have a dinnerware set of mine, so this is her present for Christmas, and I bought him something else that's special. So anyway, I'm sure they'll be excited. Ooh, yeah. That's the first large one I've done with the red and blue peacock pattern. And then look, you get the red and the blue in the glass down there. I couldn't have. Oh. That is an amazing bowl. Man. The profile of that, the shape of that. I'll have to photograph that one and put it in at the end. There's a blue peacock bowl and a red serving bowl. It was a custom batter bowl for an order for a friend's mom. So this one's the first one I made, and I was like, I think that's too big, so I made the smaller one. She can pick which one she wants. I tried something new on both of these, and I don't think I'm a fan, but I tried it. Yeah, here's another one with a new clay body, and I've got a lot of blisters in this one, so. All right, here's the last few bowls for the soup bowl benefit, and these are a little bit different because they're in the bottom of the kiln, but they're still very nice, and I'm sure they'll be glad to have them. All right, the fun is over. No, not really, but it's empty, and yeah, I'm happy with most of what came out. The only thing I'm concerned about is the pinholes in the ash glaze on that new clay. I was really hoping that I wouldn't have that, but like I said, I'm gonna go buy some new clay from them, and I'm gonna ask them about that, show them the pieces, and see what they have to say about that. But either way, yeah. Thank you guys for being here. I'll photograph some of this and put some pictures here at the end so you guys can see some better quality photos of some of the really nice pieces. And yeah, I might be doing an Etsy restock sooner than I think, because I think maybe some of this could go on there, at least some of the coffee mugs and maybe some of the small vases, pieces that you guys have seen me make in other videos. So anyway, my camera's low and I feel like I have to keep bending over. I don't know, I might be in the frame just standing up, but either way, thank you guys for being here, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video. See ya, bye.